buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we're checking out childhood memories. This is by Domics. I'm interested to see what his childhood memories were like and what things that he remembers. Or if this is just a thing of how, how childhood memories can affect us. I'm not sure, because he goes duality. Sometimes it's just telling a story, and then sometimes he does messages. So I'm not sure what we're in store for, but it does make me think of things that I went through and saw as a child. Things that I loved, things that I hated, and it's nice to kind of take a little trip down memory lane. So link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started. Okay.
I've been alive for over 28 years now, and despite having significant events in my life, I have some pretty random assortment of memories from my childhood. Take my 18th birthday, for example. It's supposed to represent the day I entered adulthood, but I actually don't remember what I did that day. It was a Saturday, so I wasn't at school, but I was in architecture, so I was definitely doing homework. I know I didn't hold a big party, so I probably just had a nice dinner with my family.
Possibly,
Except I don't even remember where we ate. So I don't recall my adulthood gateway birthday from 10 years ago, but I do remember the last night I was in Philippines 20 years ago before immigrating to Canada. I guess you can debate that moving away would be a pretty significant event, but when I was 6, I didn't understand how far Canada was and how life-changing this move was actually gonna be. Anyway, I remember that night not because we had a long travel ahead of us, but because I was sleeping on the floor in the living room. I guess so once we wake up, it would be easier to quickly leave the house to go to the airport. I was a little restless and was tossing around and then turned towards the couch. And that's when a cockroach crawled out and then disappeared away from my peripherals.
Yeah, terrifying.
That's it. That's my last memory before moving. In grade 2, when we first moved to Canada, I made a friend who invited me to come over and play with his Transformer toys. I get to his house and we go to his room. And me already being a troll at that age, I go straight to his dresser and open one of the drawers. I find his underwear and pull one out and yell, "Ooh, underwear!" Like he's supposed to be embarrassed of it or something. Like, haha, I wear these too, but I'm gonna make fun of you for it. Kids are such jerks.
They are.
He laughs nervously and then we proceed to play with his toys. And
the funny thing is, that kid is probably like, okay, this kid's a little weird. Like, yeah, underwear. Kind of like this kid, this weirdo. Meanwhile, you're thinking you're making fun of him. That's funny.
That's how I remember Marcus. A chubby kid with cool toys that wore tighty-whities like me. In grade 4, I was out at recess playing a big game of Manhunt with a bunch of kids. Manhunt is basically just tag, but if you get caught, you join the hunter team and help tag the others until everyone is caught. I was hiding out between two portables. I think Americans call them trailers, which wasn't really a great spot because it was a dead end. If someone found me there, my exit would be blocked. And indeed,
portables we did used to call them in school, and that's like the trailers when you had school when you had certain classes in the trailers. I had 1.5 class, I would say, in a portable. Like one was history class. I think it was geography? Maybe it was geography. I think it was geography. No, because we did something about different countries. So maybe world geography and then countries got involved, or I can't really remember what the class was, but I remember the teacher was Mr. Kane, and I remember a lot of stuff that happened in the class. Anyways, that was a class I had in a portable, and then for our gym class, when there was stuff that they wanted us to like write down or learn, like terms and things, which it's gym class, why do we need to learn terms that we have to write down type of situation? They had that in the portable because the gym teacher didn't have like his own separate classroom, but that was it.
Someone found me there and blocked my exit. There was maybe 3 to 4 meters between the portables, which gave me a tiny bit of room to try and juke my way past the hunter. Except there was a loose nail sticking out of one of the portables, which caught my shirt as I was escaping and made a huge tear right under my armpit and also gave me a big cut. But I was more embarrassed than pained, so instead of going to a teacher for some help, I just fled and continued playing the game. Because I go hard. I play to win.
I go hard.
And even when recess was over, I continued to try and hide my battle wound for the rest of the day as if it was a sign of weakness. Like, oh, I can't let them know I bleed.
That's weird.
Mr. Sandal, Dominic is bleeding.
At least somebody told him.
There was this one time in PE, or
Somebody
phys ed, or gym, or whatever you want to call it,
Either
and we
of
were
those.
playing basketball. If you've ever met me in person and thought I'm really short, well, you're right to assume that I was the smallest kid in my class for the duration of my childhood. We were split up into teams, and mine had some bloody good players who were black. At one point, we were on the opponent side.
You thought he wasn't going to do it, and then he did it. Butthead.
And my teammate Mark was in a position to either pass to me or to my other taller and more skilled teammate. He passed to me. I went for a 3.
And?
Cash money.
Oh, okay.
And even though I scored, my
GG.
teammates still complained like, "Hey man, why didn't you pass to me?" And Mark replied with, "What? Dom is a good shot."
That is
Which was a lie. I mean, I
really?
was decent, definitely not as good as the other guy, but I feel like Mark just said that to justify his choice. And even though I
Well, then why
probably
did
only
he
scored like one
not?
more point for the rest of the game, I had such a huge boost of self-confidence
Was it?
after
Oh,
hearing Mark's
wow.
encouraging words. In grade 5, I had a crush on
Goodness.
this girl in my class, Stephanie, the same Stephanie from my crushes video. I think it was like the last day of class before summer break, and we were having a relaxed day. My teacher had a piano in the classroom and allowed the students to play on it. During that time, one of my favorite songs was All My Life by Casey and JoJo, and the intro to that song is literally the only thing I know how to play on the piano.
Oh, really?
And so I requested to play, sat down, and played the intro to the song in hopes to impress Stephanie.
Oh.
Afterwards, the other kids, including Stephanie, cheered me on because they
good.
thought it was dedicated to Bridget,
What?
another girl who openly had a crush on me. And I guess from my little performance, people thought those feelings were now mutual,
What?
which they weren't. But I didn't want to embarrass Bridget by trying to correct the crowd, so
Oh, goodness.
yeah, I just went with it.
Oh, dear.
This last one was kind of a
Poor
suppressed
Bridget.
memory because I was so embarrassed when it happened. Also, TMI warning. Alright, so growing up, after pooping, I was taught to use what we Filipinos call a tabo, a small bucket
that?
with a handle that we fill up with water to wash our butts with. That's right, we believe toilet paper alone isn't
did.
enough. At a young age, I was too weak to
Hey.
carry the tabo on my own with
It
one
makes
hand
sense, though.
because obviously I needed the other to wash my anus. So usually when I was done delivering the package, I'd yell for my parents or older sister to help pour the water while I cleaned myself. One day we were at a family friend's house and the parents had to head out for a bit, leaving us, the kids, at the home. Destiny determined that I had to poop exactly in the time frame they were absent, so naturally I had to depend on my older sister to help me out once I was done dropping the mail.
This is sweet but
Except
gross.
I had to go real
Wait,
bad
gross but sweet.
and didn't get a chance to warn my sister ahead of time to keep an ear out for my call. And so I'm there on the toilet, finished with the load. I left the door slightly ajar so I could be heard, and at
Okay.
first I called out to my sister at a medium volume, Ate, which in Tagalog means older sister or a respectful term for a girl who's slightly older than you. She didn't hear me, and so I kept calling out, increasingly getting louder until I was heard. And surely enough, I was. Except it wasn't my sister who came to greet me.
goodness.
It was the family friend.
Oh, no.
And when you're caught on the toilet, there's
this
actually
is
nothing
awkward.
you can do to minimize how defenseless you look.
Yeah, this-
She laughed hard, and I just had to take it until she got a whiff of my aroma and then left the scene.
Oh, but did she get your
Maximum
sister?
embarrassment. And so from that day on, I matured into independence, never
Okay.
again having to rely on anyone to
You're like,
assist
"I
me
got it."
in cleaning myself after a poop.
I got it.
Because now I rely on technology. This is a bidet.
Bidet.
Holy
Oh.
sh!
Oh my goodness. But bidets make sense. Like, I completely understand that. Like, washing is better than wiping. And that's the truth of it. Like, if you're washing something, when you dirty a dish, washing is better than just wiping the dish. You can ensure the dish is clean by washing it. So I can completely understand it. I've never tried a bidet. I have seen bidets, but I've never tried them. And they make me nervous. Like, especially, is that how fast or the pressure that they're shooting that water at your butt? Because I'm just like bracing. It's going to be a scary situation. One day I will try a bidet and I'll let you know how it was for me. Maybe I won't. I don't know, but I'm scared. I'm nervous. I just feel like that's a lot of pressure coming at your booty, you know? A lot. this was a really cute video. It was great to see the different little memories he had as a child and like the things that he experienced. None of them, outside of the portables thing, none of them reminded me of specific things. Oh, except for the having an incident while running type of situation does remind me of something. And I get that he didn't want, I get the embarrassment of like being cut while you're trying to run. It's weird, but I understand it. I understand it, him being embarrassed. However, he should have said something because, and I'm glad obviously he didn't get sick or didn't get tetanus or anything, but you could. If you get snagged by a nail, tell somebody because they got to clean that. They got to make sure you don't get no tetanus because that's the issue you get them shots for, okay? And them shots are not fun. Oh my goodness, my poor baby. When she has to do immunization for school, it's not going to be fun. I hated immunization. Although now I'm fine. When you, listen, I'm going to tell you a secret, and this is something that all mommies know. When you are pregnant, they draw so much blood from you, it's crazy. And then when you go to the hospital, you get stuck with so many needles and things throughout the pregnancy and during delivery that after, literally, my first doctor's appointment after, where they had to like, I went to the hospital for something and they had to like inject me with stuff and I literally did not feel it. That's how much injections I went through. Nonetheless, it was fun to see his memories and things that he went through. The bidet situation, like I know some people would probably be like, oh, that's weird, with the pot of water, but you make do. I think that it is an American, or I would say a Western mindset of, no, because in Europe they have bidets. So is it an American thing? Maybe that's something I need to know. Like, is it American / Canadian thing, this toilet paper, not obsession, but desire? First off, where was toilet paper made? And who decided this is what you should use instead of a bidet? Because in Europe they have bidets, so I wonder. That draws me with some questions there. But yeah, you had to make do, so you had to use a pot of water. Listen, I ain't judging you at all. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Were any of these memories relative to something you've experienced? If you like that video, check out the link in the description box below to support Domics. If you like this video, like the life out of that like button. I love you guys as always, and until next time, buddies. Toodles.